Hello everyone, this is Chris Brooks from Riv6 Game Studio, and here's what we have so far. We've done a lot with the player screen. As you can see, we now can load many players. You can scroll to the right and see them. So this is 50 players right here, and we've also been able to change, so now you can add their names. You can alter their names, so for like, especially over here with the player 1, you could change it to say, I don't know, Roof Sticks or anything you want, so that you can name it however you choose. We also can change the color. Now this will be a color picker in the end, where when you click it, you'll be able to get a new, choose your RGB values or your HTML color values and be able to change it that way. But right now it just picks a random color when you click it. Okay. But anyway, we have like 50 down here. You can add new players, so there you go. At will, as many as you want. Now once this is connected to itch or Steam, your first human player will be your Steam ID, obviously, but right now we're not attached to that, so that's how it works. What else here with the colors? So that's about it. It randomly picks a color unless the monster itself has chosen a color to pick, which Brutus in this case has chosen this pinkish color, but everyone else received theirs randomly. So every time you load, you'd have a different color set for that. And then you've got the scroll bar here. As long as there are greater than 12 monsters, there will be you'll be able to scroll. Now, how does that run in the actual game? So let's try a real game running. Let's go with the arena. We're going to go with 50 monsters in the arena. We're not going to play the whole thing because it takes a while, obviously with 50 monsters, but at least just to see it. So here we go. We have the arena. Let's go ahead and launch our 50 monsters. So here they are. There are now 50 monsters here. Now you can't see them all because they scroll off the bottom of the screen. So if you're in pause mode, slider will appear and you can move up and down and see the monsters that way. But only in pause mode, because if you do it in play while it's playing, it just scrolls too fast for you to be able to really scroll very well. So you can really only scroll it during pause. But you can then get to see all the monsters and what they're doing. So that's pretty much how those new features. As you can see with 50 monsters, it's running very well. Don't have any lag whatsoever, so that's very good. I don't know what the upper extent is. It would depend on your machine, as well as, I don't know what else you got running or whatever. But in general, this is a mid-range box I'm running it on now, and there's no lag whatsoever. So, alright, so let's go ahead and stop that. The other major change, we've been working on the interface, mainly with players, but we've also been focusing on some of the other parts of the interface. So let's go ahead and load Pachinko, and you'll see some of the changes we've made there. Okay, so Pachinko is just like a Pachinko game. The balls would drop down into the bottom, bouncing off of everything. And in this case, it's monsters that drop down to the bottom and bounce off of everything. But the major changes we've made here is having to do with the spinner. So before the spinner moved left or it moved right, that was it. Now the spinner can move randomly. In other words, it starts out at a random position of going left or right, or it can flip its direction, which flipping its direction makes it, when it goes left one time, the next time it's triggered, it'll go to the right, and that's how the Pachinko works. So it randomly picks which direction to go, and then to start at, and then after that, any monsters that hit it will flip to the next grouping. So we'll flip its position. Then we also have these teleporters down here, and a spring. It uses the same type of springboard And we need to change the animation for the springboard. We're just using the trap door right now, but really it should have a springboard animation. I just haven't gotten around to create it. So anyway, it bounces the monsters off of the springboard when it's there. So let's try and see that in action. But I don't want to do it with 50 players. So let's go ahead here. I'm going to go into CC players over here. And I'm just going to replace it with a regular DLL instead of the 50 monster DLL. Now to do that, you need to shut down the game so that it's not running. Then you just go into your CC players your players folder, whatever you've called it, whatever you've named it. You can remove it out of there, and let's replace it with this one here. Let's delete it out of here, put it in here. Okay, then go into this outbound. That's just where I'm storing it right now. This is only an 8 monster DLL. And I'm putting it here. There you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and relaunch the game. And then that'll read in the new player DLL. Okay, so here we are. We're back to the normal suspects here. I'll play it too, I guess. So then you've got me in there with the regular monsters that we always play with. So let's go ahead with, go back to Pachinko. Alrighty then. Here it is, so let's go ahead and start. Alright, so they're coming down, they're moving to the, he moved there to the left. He's moving to the opposite direction. What am I? I'm the angler. Okay, so then it's just toggling it back and forth. Okay, so let's see what they're going to do. So then he trekked around the side passage here, and he ended up going back up, and he's coming down here and over here and teleporting here. That's the Bumble. And then I am right here. So this is going to push me this way, so I'm going to move to the right. That'll bring me down, and I should end up on this pink right, on the purple right here. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to turn to the right again, back up, bewilder, and rest. See if that gets me anybody confused. So then we've got he's moving back up there. So is he. The other angler's coming down with me. He's actually going to be in my spot. It's kind of why I turned around, because I figured I don't want to get confused by the angler myself. Now we have a new channel. It's called Monster Bash. If you just want to watch monsters battle without any commentary, it's a good place to do that. So I'll leave a link to that in the description, as well as we have a site now. I've always kind of just not did the site because in general the site never really draws much. So I've finally pulled the trigger and I'm done the full channel, the full site. So if you want to see Rivstick's gamestudio.com, you can check that out as well. I'll also put that in a link in the description. So the game is coming along well. We've got a pretty good start here. We're going to be enhancing the maps as well, and also working on the modes, mainly the race mode as well as the puzzle mode. In the puzzle mode, this is how I'm figuring I'm going to do it. You know how as a player you put in your different actions, your 6 actions? Well, in the puzzle mode, you'll be able to lay monsters on the board, as well as edit it, and give those monsters pre-programmed actions to take that it'll loop through and continue to take those. Because puzzle mode's essentially a way for it's a single player mode where you choose to, where you try to find the quickest way to solve the puzzle, which is usually getting to a checkpoint or doing something like killing all the monsters or whatever. But more of a navigation type base of a game, where you start with a particular monster type, and you run through it, and you might have to push a monster over here or dodge this or however you want to do it to solve, and then whoever solves it the best, of course, is all recorded, so on a leaderboard. So that mode hasn't even been started yet, but the concepts for it are pretty much there. So anyway, we're hoping to start on the maps. I'd also like a preview. So instead of just a drop-down list of maps, we have a preview of like the maps, so that it shows a little map, what it looks like as an image, and maybe even a description from the author of the map, as well as a few other abilities. Also, we want to, on the map page, show be able to limit what monster types go on a particular map. So for example, we don't want small, if there's a map that's guaranteed to win for like Larry, who's a close quarter combat, you don't really want a bunch of like Larry against a bunch of cats or whatever. So things like that to limit the monsters that are playing in the particular games. So certain things I'm working on with the maps as well. Is probably next, now that I've kind of finished players. And then of course the color picker for players. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm not going to play this full game. I just wanted to give you a show. Again, if you want to see actual battles in action, Twitch is a good, our Twitch channel is also good for that, as well as the Monster Bash channel. So anyway, that's all I have right now, and if you want to like and subscribe, I'll throw that out there. I'm not really an influencer. I'm just some guy who likes to make games, so I'm not really heavily into liking and subscribing, but if you want to like and subscribe, that would help me out. But anyway, thank you very much, and have a good night.